okay, so here's the thing with the feet pics. I didn't know that was like a thing until I went on reality TV, and there's a website. I don't know if you ever heard
Feet Finder, right?
Well, no, but you know that one. No, WikiFeet. It's a ranking for feet. You could search any celebrity, reality star, whatever, and it'll show the ranking and all these random feet photos. Literally, it could be a foot photo that was from my story, and someone will like screenshot it and put it on this website. Yeah.
That is crazy. All right, guys, comedian and poker champion.
Yeah.
Katie Thurston here, winning the celebrity tournament. 82 players.
It was 82. I couldn't remember. There were so many.
There was 9 tables of 9, or so 81.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
You must have done a lot of practicing before that.
I downloaded the poker app and I played a lot on my phone. But like when I was 18, I was dating a guy who really loved poker. So much so that we went to prom and then to a card room afterwards.
Wow.
Because we were too young for like a casino, but card rooms you could do at 18.
Damn.
So we played some poker, and I really hadn't played in a while. But the skill's there, you know. It's like riding a bike. Like you always kind of know it, and so I just kind of played on my phone a little bit.
You were dominating.
The background of my phone during the tournament was like literally the hand rankings.
Saw that.
Just in case I forgot. But you know,
you were knocking out champs. You were knocking out
money.
pros.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think a lot of people saw that coming. Did anyone bet on you?
Yeah, I mean, I told my people to bet on me because the odds were 75 to 1. I was like, put your money on me. I promise you're gonna get paid.
Damn.
And they did.
So if someone bet 100, they won. What is that? $750 or $7,500.
Is that how that works with
Yeah.
sports betting? I don't know.
75 to 1. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Well, I'll bet on you on the next one.
Well, now the odds are definitely going to change because now everyone knows I know how to play. Yeah.
Your table probably thought you were just like...
Oh, Bryce Hall talks so much. He was such a little. And then even afterwards, I like DM'd him and I was like, "Nice playing with you, loser."
Yeah.
He never responded.
Damn.
He's pretty butthurt. I saw his interview and I was like, "Oh, he's pissed."
He's actually decent at poker, but...
Well, I know that's why he's mad because it is hard to play in a tournament with like people who know how to play and then people have no idea what they're doing because you can't read that. You know? So I get it, but like he also was giving me shit. I'm like, let me take my $20K and talk to you later.
Did you knock him out?
I don't think I did. I don't think it was me. No.
Okay. And you guys had that girl that was halfway on the table or something.
Oh God, I forget her name. But yeah, she's I think from like America's Got Talent.
Yeah, that was insane.
Flexible.
Yeah, her
Couldn't
head
be me.
was on the table and her body was of the...
Sophie was her name.
Sophie Dosey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. Well, well done. Are you playing in games out here too?
No, like that was it. Like a one and done. You know, like I don't really play poker. Like I just got invited and I was like, why not?
So back to comedy then.
Back to comedy.
And you just did Oklahoma and a couple other states.
Boston, Washington. Yeah.
What was the favorite out of those 3?
Oh, honestly, I think Spokane, Washington was fun.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's a small little city, and I think they just really love to come out for comedy. And so it was a sold-out show. And my hometown is Washington, so like it was just a lot of like progressive Pacific Northwest vibes, you know? So it was just fun time.
Yeah. Were you a bank marketing manager in Washington?
Yeah, I was in finance like all of my working life.
Wow.
So it was just, I was not expecting to ever take the direction that my life is now. You know, I was very settled in my career. I just bought a condo, you know, COVID was hitting. Like everything was just very like traditional 9-to-5 life. And then one day I signed up for reality TV and then it just never slowed down.
Dang, what a big change. That's like a 180 almost.
Oh, 1,000%. Like it's crazy like how much can change in such a short time.
Yeah, so you literally just applied online and it worked.
Yeah, at the time I was 29 and I remember thinking like, oh, I'm going to be too old. Like for reality TV, that's considered like elderly.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, this is the last year. Like at this, they will never pick me up, you know, once I hit 30. And then I got the first call and I was like, oh, and then I got another call because there's so many like rounds of interviews and every time I got a call I was like, oh, I think this is happening.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
How many rounds were there?
God, I couldn't even remember. Like there's medical, there's psych eval, background checks, interviews with like producers, pre-screeners, executive producers. It's a lot. It's every time you're like, no way do I make it to the next round. And then like you get the call and it's like, okay, you're on the show. We leave in 2 weeks. And you're like,
that's nuts.
Yeah.
And that was The Bachelor, right?
That was The Bachelor first. And that was during COVID. So I was like, what else am I going to do? You know?
So did you have to wear masks on the show?
We did not, but we had to have COVID tests every 3 days.
Jeez.
And then we could only film in a bubble, like on a resort, which was unfortunate because normally with the show, you travel the world. Like you get to go everywhere, you know?
Right.
But no, it was very rigorous testing, and everyone working, like who wasn't in front of a camera, all had masks on. And if you got COVID, you'd have to go home.
Did that happen to anyone?
Not on my season, but you know, COVID was around for a couple years during filming.
Yeah.
So I think it happened on at least 1 or 2 other seasons, though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you make it farther than you thought you would?
I actually went home sooner than I thought I
Ooh.
would. But I don't know if that's just part of the manipulation. I don't know if that's part of like the brain that happens there, because everyone thinks that he's in love with you.
Yeah.
He's falling for me. I'm gonna go far, you know. And then I had this. I don't know if you watch the show, but they're called one-on-one dates. And so I'm all like, you know. And he picks up this asshole, Matt. He picks up the rose as if he's about to give it to me, and then he sets it down, which is like, you know, I'm gonna go home.
Dang.
And I know the camera was like waiting for like that face drop or something. I just remember smiling and then holding my breath.
Ooh.
I was like, I'm not giving you any reaction right now.
Damn.
So yeah, I actually was 11th place.
Okay.
Before then being offered the Bachelorette, which at the time was like the lowest ranking person to then be offered a lead role.
Oh, really?
Normally it's someone from like the top 4.
Oh, I didn't know that's how it worked.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which show did you like better?
I mean, you get paid to be the Bachelorette, so at least pay me for my trauma.
Okay.
You know, but I will say it was a lot harder too. Like people think it's very fun, like you're dating all these men. It's not fun. Like you don't get a lot of sleep, you don't eat a lot of food, like you're just like delirious for
So
the next
busy.
6 weeks. Yeah.
6 weeks?
Yeah.
Holy crap, I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah, and it's nonstop. Like you literally like you get 4 hours of sleep because they're on like I forget what it's called. But with the camera crew, like they have strict hours of when they can and cannot work. And so we have to kind of like go with them, and we don't have room to just like sleep in a day.
Only 4 hours of sleep, geez.
Yeah.
So you don't even know if you're picking the right dude at that point. You're just
No,
delirious.
and if you're crying, you're just tired.
Yeah.
People are like, why is everyone crying? I'm like, they're tired and they're hungry. We're turning into like babies. You
That's
know?
crazy.
Yeah.
Has anyone actually married or stayed long term from this show?
Yeah. Like the earlier ones, though. That's the thing, because as social media becomes more popular, more people go on the show. The famous phrase is "for the wrong reasons," and so that's the unfortunate part. Is the exposure that these people get and the opportunities they get kind of outweighs a lot of the love, the potential love.
Wow.
So a lot of the early ones definitely worked out. They have kids, they're married, they're happy, and then the more recent ones have been like 6 months at the most for their engagements, back to back to back, and then
Dang.
it ends.
Oh, so you get engaged?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I was engaged to a Canadian at the
Really?
time. Yeah, during COVID. So that was just like everything stacked against us because traveling to Canada during COVID was like impossible.
You couldn't do it, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they banned it.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why. So that ended?
That ended. Yes. Yep.
Damn.
I know.
Gave the ring back?
You have to. It's never really your ring. Yeah.
Okay. I see, some girls keep it, though.
Well, there's a lot of rules around how you can keep it. And even then when it's yours, if you go to sell it, they get the first rights to buy it back. So,
Oh.
For the price they want.
I didn't know that.
So it's never really your
Oh,
ring.
so you just buy back for $1.
Literally. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think that anyone's ever like taken it as far as being able to actually try and sell it, because what's the point?
Dang, good to know.
Yeah.
You recently moved to LA. You started dating around here yet?
I did try to date a little bit in LA, but I did just start dating a guy from New York.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a long...
It's long distance, but he's also a comic, so we kind of have the flexibility of being able to like travel and see each other, and our lifestyles are obviously very similar. So it's been going very well so far.
Props to you. Distance is tough.
Yeah. Well, it's great because we met. This isn't even public yet, but I know this podcast will come out later. But we met because we had plans to get drinks when he was in town. And I'd never met him before, but we run obviously in the same circles. And then he had to bail last minute because he ended up in the hospital.
Whoa.
Yeah, he like injured his hand, whatever. And then we ended up chatting that night. He's like, hey, sorry, I had to bail. We chat all night. And then for the next month, we never see each other. We just chat. And I think that's like the difference of like LA dating and like being really intentional with dating.
Yeah.
If you talk to someone for a whole month without alcohol, sex, seeing each other, and you can still like vibe, then like it's probably a good way to like start.
That's a good sign, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't happen often in LA.
LA was the worst. I hated it so much. I dated like, went on dates. I shouldn't even say dated. Most of the guys were great, but there was one guy who like made a TikTok about our date, just like such a clout chaser,
Ooh.
just like this privileged 6'6" guy. So like us women,
I'm 6'6".
Oh, well, look, this is what happens with you guys that are tall. We ignore red flags. We're like, oh, he's tall. The red flags don't see him because they're like way up there, So there's a lot of things I ignored, and then like the next day I was like, no, I think this guy's literally a walking red flag.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. So a comic in New York. Is it a Kosh?
No.
All right. That was my one guess.
No.
Because I know Schultz is married, and I don't know any other comic.
Well,
I tried, but
good guess.
are you ever gonna publicize it? Because public relationships are tough too, right?
Oh, I mean, we're out in public together,
Oh,
and
cool.
he'll talk about me like on stage and stuff. So it's not that we're hiding it. It's just we at this point on this date we aren't like on social media about
Got it.
you know.
That's where it gets dicey.
Yeah. Especially like Bachelor Nation, they can be intense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he's a great comic, so he's not problematic. That's where you dip into like bad territories. If you date someone with like a history, they'll find it. They'll dissect that. You know?
Damn.
So this guy, squeaky clean background. So
Holy crap! So the fans of the show are like running background checks
oh
on your
yeah,
boyfriend.
yeah. I very short term dated a guy, a comic. I must have a type.
You like comics?
Well, the thing, it's kind of like being coworkers. You know, it's like we get each other's industry, our work. Like we work late, we work with like men and women. It's just a weird world, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand it unless you're in it. And so it's just like, I guess, the easier person to like relate to. But yeah, he had a little bit of a past with who he hung out with, and I never even posted about him. They sleuthed it out based on, I'm not even kidding, based on tags and stories, and like that's his TV stand on her story. It's crazy.
That is nuts.
It's crazy. And then they start dissecting things that are like 5+ years old, and I'm like, oh my God, this poor guy.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
So what is your style of comedy? Because I've never seen someone on The Bachelorette be a comedian. That's
Yeah.
pretty unique.
I mean, I'm new, so I mean, it's the low hanging fruit, as I like to call it, which is like dating and sex and what it's like to be in your 30s. You know, like stuff that's just like relatable, but like also personal to like my situation of like, let me tell you about a bad date I went on. Let me tell you about this sexually awkward experience that I had. You know.
Yeah.
So it's just stuff like that. But then also because I'm new, when I'm on the road, I'll bring more experienced comics with me.
Oh.
And it's kind of like my way of like sharing the wealth, sharing the stage, sharing the audience. You know, it's like I'm only like a year and a half in. And I love it, you know, but I'm not going to like stand on stage for 60 minutes and fake my way through that. No one's going to have a good time, you know? So I'll do like 20, 25 minutes. I'll bring in, you know, a host, an opener, a feature, you know, whatever, and just make it like a universal show. That's just
cool.
Guaranteed everyone's going to have a good time.
Yeah, 60 would be tough.
People do that though. That's the thing
What?
that people screw up on is like, they're like, oh, I have an audience. And then they don't put in the time to perform, to work it out on stage. And then they just like fake their way through it. And then no one's buying tickets again.
Yeah.
You know, I've performed now in Washington twice, and I've had people come for the second time.
Wow.
You know, and like that speaks volumes to like how much fun they had, and that's not even like a compliment to me. It's just like how I run my shows.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm going to make sure I have good people there. I'm going to make sure I'm prepared, and that people want to come back time and time again.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have the same material each show, or do you switch it up?
I mean, it varies. It's like someone who saw me last year might hear a joke, but it's going to be better a year from now, because now there's the longer version of it, the tighter version of it. You get rid of some of the extra stuff that doesn't matter,
Right.
you know, and that just comes with time. Is like you figure out how to say that joke, but just better.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's going to be the same, but then also there's just going to be new stuff inspired from that topic that branches into a whole other story.
On the money side of things, I saw your Instagram video. You did 21,000 one month.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive for just starting.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, like, in that video, I really break it down. You know, people think, oh, that's like quick money, and sure, it can be, but then you deduct hotel, flight. You're paying those talented people that are joining you to come as well. You know, food, Ubers. All of a sudden, it starts to really like dwindle, and that's all pre-tax. You
Right.
know, so as a former banker, I just thought it would be like a fun video to be transparent on like, here's how much I made, but then this much goes to the club and this much goes to a manager, and like really, I think the take home after that might have been like I don't know, 8,000 maybe.
Okay.
Once you deduct all costs, and that was for like a weekend.
Yeah.
But
Just for 2 shows?
That was 3 shows in that
3
video
shows.
that you're referencing.
Got it.
Yeah.
So if you do that twice a month, that's pretty good money.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you figure bigger comics are doing bigger venues. They're doing multiple shows in one night.
Right.
You know? So, like, the more experience you get and the bigger your fan base is, there's definitely money to be had
Yeah.
there.
And then the specials, too.
Oh, I mean, the specials, that's really where it can pay off, too.
Yeah. Nikki just launched one, which was perfect timing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's had so many at this point, though.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah. Is she the GOAT for the female comedians?
You know, I don't know. I think it's all subjective. Like, my personal favorite is Ali Wong, Whitney Cummings. I mean, there's so many. Nikki's been in for a long time. You know, she's having her viral moments right now with that latest roast and her specials and stuff. But there's just so many great women in comedy. I don't know if I could like give her that title. I don't know if I could give anyone that title. You know, because there's just so many. So many great ones.
Comedy is so subjective to each person.
Truly,
so
yeah.
That makes sense. If you got offered $1 million to be roasted on television, would you do it?
Oh, for sure.
For $1 million?
Yeah, I had a show last year in San Diego where I was roasted for basically free.
Wow.
So and it was super fun. Like I can roll with the punches. I mean, there were some pretty aggressive
Yeah,
things.
because Brady said he actually regretted it. I mean, he probably made a fat bag, but
he has a problematic past, you know. So like obviously that's gonna hurt a little. Like the worst thing I did did was sell like feet pics on OnlyFans maybe, or
Oh,
like
you did that?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, hold a dildo on The Bachelor, like. I don't know.
That's not too bad.
I-
Feet pics, I mean, I would sell a feet pic for money.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. Okay, so here's the thing with the feet pics. I didn't know that was like a thing until I went on reality TV, and then I call them feet people because I
Yeah.
don't know what to call them. Were like, oh, you have really nice feet. I didn't know that you could have like nice feet versus not nice feet or whatever. And there's a website. I don't know if you ever heard
Feet
it.
Finder, right?
Well, no, but you know that one. No, WikiFeet. It's a ranking for feet. So if you go to wikifeet.com, I'm not sponsored, you can search any celebrity, reality star, whatever, and it'll show the ranking and all these random feet photos.
No way.
Like literally, it could be a foot photo that was from my story, and then someone will like screenshot it and put it on this website. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
How did they rank it?
I'm not a foot person. I don't know, like your arch, maybe the angle of the toe. I don't know, because also sometimes they like the bigger pinky toe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I apparently had nice feet, so I was like, I'm
Interesting.
gonna see how this goes. The first time I did it, I made 10 grand
What?
in like a week from
That's
feet pics.
nuts.
Donated to the Boys and Girls Club because I was like, well, that was too easy.
You donated all of it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have kept some of it.
I mean, it was just like easy money, and in some weird way, it felt like a Robin Hood moment of like, thank you, men. I'm gonna give it back to the children. You know, like I don't need it, like financially, like it's whatever, you know. But it's just another platform of building a community, which to me,
Dang.
community, no matter where it's from, is just like always important.
Yeah, I'm gonna research that site for educational purposes. I wonder. No, I really wonder what the top foot is and like what goes into it. That's interesting. to me.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like, I think there's just different, you know, some people like a tattooed foot. People like will ask weird things. Like, I'm still learning. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. They'll be like, they want to see your foot coming in and out of like a high heel. They want to see your foot being tickled. They want to.
Wow.
There's just people love white socks, dirty socks. I don't know. It's all. I'd love to know like the psychic behind it.
Yeah,
you know, like,
that's interesting.
someone said it reminds them of like their mother's feet, like if they're a baby.
That's
and then
weird.
like women, I don't know. Yeah, I can't relate, but I also will never kink shame because everyone has their own
Everyone's
thing.
got theirs. Yeah, I'm not public with mine. I don't think I ever will be.
Oh, but you have one.
I think we all do, right? You have some. I'm
No,
sure.
I honestly feel like I'm kind of vanilla. I think if I was to mention any of my kinks, they're like probably standard. Like, oh, choke me, that's nice.
Choking,
you know?
I'd consider, right?
But then there's like ones that are like beyond
Yeah.
the entry level of kinks.
Handcuffs.
I see even that, like that's in movies. That seems like a normal.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's.
Oh, you think that's kinky?
I think so, right?
Well, I think
Maybe
it's-
I'm just vanilla. I don't know.
Well, I think that's just like if you're opening the door to kinks, those are beginner kinks.
Okay.
You know, like standard
So what's the next level?
whips,
Okay.
like BDSM.
What's that?
It's like where you get all like I don't want to describe this wrong, but I think it's like with the leather and then like a gag ball and like
What?
Like, oh, okay, so you're probably vanilla too. You should be okay with your kinks.
Okay. Damn, I didn't know.
You're like, whoa! It's the fact that you didn't even know what that word was. That tells me your kinks probably pretty entry level.
Well,
too.
I watched 50 Shades of Grey. I think that was in
No,
there.
he gets a little wild, yeah.
So that's not even kinky to you?
Well, no, I mean, I didn't watch the movie, but I know some of his stuff. He has a whole sex room. That's like king
Sex
level
dungeon.
of king status.
Yeah.
I don't have a bedroom dedicated to that
Yeah. Maybe it comes with the age.
with age, experience.
Yeah. Maybe we'll grow into it. I
Yeah.
guess we're vanilla for now.
Furries, that's
I've heard of furries.
That's a pretty intense one.
Yeah, you wear a tail, right?
Or a full costume, like
What?
like a full like a mascot.
That's crazy.
I've seen a furry convention once. It was pretty cool.
You went to it?
Well, I didn't go to it, but they just as a group were walking through the town, and I was like, oh. And then it's funny because the adults know what that is, but the kids don't. And so
Yeah.
the kids are like wanting photos with these like cats and dogs and tigers, and I'm like, I feel conflicted because there's
Yeah.
probably semen on that, but you know,
Oh
whatever.
my gosh. There's some furries at schools.
Oh yeah. I guess I have seen that.
Yeah.
It's like preteen Furbies.
Yeah, and they're allowed to spit on people without
What?
getting in. Yeah, because they're cats.
What?
Yeah, so
You're
you could-
lying.
No, I swear to God, look it up. So they could spit on you. You can't do.
In high school?
Yeah.
You can just spit on people.
Yeah, and there's litter boxes in their high school
Okay,
bathroom.
no. I've heard this. I heard this was a hoax.
Was it?
Because I heard the cat box thing. I was like, there's no way they're allowing that.
Okay, so maybe it's fake news.
I think it's fake news. I want the evidence.
Yeah.
Show
we'll
me the real live footage of that.
All right, we'll have the producer research it then.
I mean, it is 2024. It's not like it is believable, but at some point you got to be like,
I mean, it's believable. Look at what's going on right now.
wow, what a
I don't want to get you canceled.
What a
but there's,
tangent.
There's some.
I've been canceled like 20 times.
Have you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Saying what?
Well, it's just like you just don't know. Like the very first time I experienced like being canceled was I was fresh off The Bachelorette, and I was posting a photo of me kissing my girlfriend's cheek, like friend, that's a girl, her cheek, and behind us was a neon sign that said "Girls, girls, girls."
Yeah.
And my caption said, like whatever floats your boat. And then my girlfriend commented and was like, tune in to see who she really picks or something like that. No big deal. If we're drunk, I go to bed. The next morning I wake up, I learn about the term called queer baiting. I'd never even heard it before. And basically it's where you use like queerness to like sell something. And so it was just like this whole polarizing dialogue on like, was it queer baiting? Was it not? Was what I posted okay? Was it not? And that was my like first introduction to like Bachelor Nation. And I was like,
wow.
Oh, I am not trained for any of this right now.
Queer baiting.
So
I've never heard of that.
I'm just gonna have to learn as I go. And then like shortly afterwards, I had a post again where I typed snow bunny. Well, in Washington, that's like a cute like snowboarder girl with like her beanie, whatever. But on like what's the website where you search slang words?
Oh, Urban Dictionary?
Yeah, Urban Dictionary. Snow bunny is like a white girl who dates black guys, or like a black guy who dates white girls, or like someone who does coke. I don't know. There were so many different terms, and people were like, I couldn't believe you posted snow bunny, da-da-da.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There's a word for everything on that site.
Yeah, so I just like, I have to learn as I go, you know?
Yeah.
I up and then I'm educated and I go, cool, never again.
And you're kind of under a microscope with Bachelor Nation.
Big time.
Because they're just analyzing all your posts.
Everything.
Dang. So there's pros and cons of doing it.
Yeah, you know, when people ask me if they want to do it, I always say like, well, how is your mental health? How strong are you mentally? Because it is a rough road ahead for the next 6 months.
Wow. Do you talk to the other girls about it?
Oh yeah, I mean, the bachelorettes are all in like a group chat.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's not very active. It's mostly like happy birthdays, congrats on the baby. You know.
There's like 40 of you now, though, right?
I think there's like 20 something of us of the
20-something.
girls.
Oh, the
then
girls.
There's the guy side too.
And is the group chat separate?
Yeah. We don't talk to the boys. Most of them end up sucking. So. Yeah.
That's crazy. And you went on Fboy Island recently?
Yeah, which Nikki was the host of.
Yeah. What was that like?
That was fun. It was a lot better than my Bachelor experience. There's money to be won. And so on reality TV, when there's a prize, legally you cannot interfere.
Oh.
And so you just get to just exist as a contestant and do whatever the hell you want, and it's fun.
Wow.
Whereas like The Bachelor, there's no prize, you know, except I guess me. But like they can like manipulate. They can be like, oh, you know, this guy's talking about this guy, and no, you can't see that guy. There's just a lot of like control that they have that then determines like what happens next. And so it's not fun because you're not in on the secret. You know, you're just like. That. Who's knocking at my door and why are they leaving the show now, you know?
That's funny. Do you want to get more into acting?
You know, it's funny you asked that because someone asked me that, like, I think yesterday, and I was like, I would love to be on a Hallmark movie.
Really?
I think that's like the highest level I could go.
Hallmark
and reality TV kind of have a like similar vibe in terms of like, oh, we're making out in the rain, you know, and like, oh, don't leave me for the farm. That's, I don't know, whatever. But it's just like very like, you know, lighthearted.
Yeah. Now you're in LA too.
I know. So anyone from Hallmark listening,
hit her up, guys.
Christmas is just around the corner.
Just came from San Diego. Why'd you leave Diego?
It's just a little slower paced. I love it. I love it there so much. But when you're like fresh in your career and you're in entertainment, whether that be comedy, acting, writing, like right now we're trying to sell a TV show. Everything is here in LA.
Wow.
And I was doing the drive for a bit and I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah. How far is the drive?
2.5 hours one way from San Diego to LA. And I would do it same day, like round trip. I would do it.
Crap.
One time I drove 2.5 hours just for a 15-minute spot here at the Improv.
Oh my gosh.
And then just drove back home.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
I was like, what am I doing? So now I live close to all these comedy clubs and it just feels better to be here.
Yeah. How's the traffic though?
Traffic's brutal. And like LA is so big. It feels like a state on its own. Like there's so many like different neighborhoods that's like I get why people now in LA are like I don't date someone outside of like my like neighborhood because it could take 40 minutes just to get to like 5 miles from where you're at, which is crazy.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Vegas we don't get that.
Yeah. Oh well, here I'm complaining, and now I'm dating a guy in New York. So, I guess if he's worth it, you know.
Would you rather move to New York or make a move to you? If you get to that point.
We've talked about it.
Oh yeah, already?
Yeah. Honestly, I tell him all the time. I'm like, I think you're gonna win that argument because like I'm new to LA. I don't have like roots here necessarily. You know, my whole family's in Washington still. And he's very like rooted in New York, and then his family's in Michigan. So it's like, okay, fine. Like when the time comes, you can win that. But also that because we're both in the comedy scene, there's a world of just being bi-coastal, you know, and he's going to be traveling, doing, you know, shows because that's his primary focus. Comedy, I'm so new to it. It's just like one of many things that I'll tap into in the next 5 years, you know?
Wow. So you don't have trust issues. That's impressive.
I didn't say that. I don't have trust issues with him, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still, for 2 months in, that's good.
Yeah.
That's earlier than most.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm 33 now, and so you go on so many dates. You have so many relationships. Like, you want to think, like, the older you get, the more you recognize exactly what you want and don't want.
Right.
You know, so.
Is it true you feel a lot of pressure in your 30s?
I don't, because I'm indifferent on kids. But I
Okay.
think women who are, like, for sure, like, want kids, for sure feel that pressure, you know? But for me, I'm like, I'll adopt.
Wow. So you made that choice early.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think by the time I hit 30, like, I had to really reflect on that. And I was like, you know, I grew up with a very unconventional family. So it's like, to me, it's not important to have, like, sounds weird to say blood baby. But, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to say? Like, for me, it's just like, love is love. And, you know, there's so many kids that need to be adopted. Like, if I ever couldn't have kids biologically, there's still a kid that could use a mom. So.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, what do you got coming up next? Any shows or any comedy things?
No, I mean, I just tell people to follow me on Instagram. That's where I'll announce stuff. If I'm ever performing in LA, I'll like announce it last minute. 'Cause
Okay.
it's more for like practice, you know, get those reps in, work on a joke or two. But no, right now my biggest focus is selling a TV show. So can't say much more about that. But, we have some pretty big meetings next month. So
Nice.
that's like my primary focus.
Let's go. Well, we'll link your Instagram below. Thanks so much for coming on.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching, guys. As always, see you tomorrow.